How's it going, gang? It's a final render here, and welcome to the very first video of 2019. I know, it's been a very long time since we uploaded a video, but I've been very busy doing the first 2 weeks of the year. I went on a short holiday, and also, I was invited down to Bethesda HQ to go and play Rage 2 for 90 minutes. I'll be able to show you guys lots of really cool footage, give you lots of cool info on the 24th of January, but until then, let's take a look at this merchandise package that Bethesda gave me as a thank you for coming down to the Rage 2 event down at their headquarters. I was given lots of cool Fallout 76 merch, which I think you guys are going to like. We got the really cool mask, we got some really nice Fallout 76 t-shirts, I'm wearing one right now actually. We've also got this really cool cap, which has got some of the artwork on it, some of the perk card artwork is on there. We've got a mug which has got some of the Vault Boy artwork on there with just the kind of line art, which I really like. We've got this really cool Vault Boy bobblehead as well, which I really like. And I've got all of this cool stuff on my computer, which is currently behind me, so when we are doing our live streams of Fallout 76 camp builds, you can see all this really cool merch behind me in the background. And I just wanted to show off this mystery box because I was kind of teasing it on my Twitter. And as an extra final thank you, they also gave me this inflatable Quake Champions rocket launcher, which I thought was really cool. I do enjoy playing Quake Champions, I haven't played it for a while, but this was a really cool thing to go and put on top of the computer as well. Now this is just to kind of show you guys what was in the mystery package that I was teasing you guys on Twitter with, and also to tell you guys that if you're interested in Rage 2, subscribe to this channel because I will have some really cool footage and news for you guys from someone who's played it for a very long time on the 24th of January. But until then, of course, you guys want to see some Fallout 76 camp building. We haven't done it in a while, so let's go. So for this Fallout 76 camp build video, we are going to be building the ultimate Cliffside cabin in Fallout 76, and I have found the perfect spot for it. We have found a beautiful little cliff edge near Vault 76, which has not only got a nice bit of flat ground and a cliff, but it's also got an iron and a copper deposit. You can find it here on the map, and this is an amazing spot for a camp because it's got an amazing view and it's got copper and iron within camp radius, which is actually not too common to get those two items that close together. So we're going to be building a really cool studio apartment here. Let's go. Starting off by putting down my camp unit right on the edge of the cliff. I want to be able to have my building kind of hanging over the edge of the cliff so we can kind of get this really scary look down. And it was actually very hard to get the studio apartment look, which I really wanted to do because of how aggressive the snapping is in this game. I tried a few different ways to do it. I tried it by setting up a ramp and then having a slightly lower foundation, as you can see here, and then building forward so we can have kind of 2 levels. But that is actually a bit too extreme. I wanted to be able to walk up the ramp, so I tried lots of different things, and I also had to put lots of support beams down. Now obviously, you don't have to for Fallout 76, sorry. You can just have things floating, but for the sake of realism, I also had to put those support beams down. And here you can see me just kind of eyeball where I need to put my foundations here, because if I went a millimeter closer to the upper section of my studio apartment, they would snap together. And I didn't want that. I didn't want them to snap together. I wanted to have one slightly lower version, so it took a very long time on the live stream to go and line up these floors perfectly so there was no gap in the middle. But we eventually did it, and it was awesome. We're also going to have a rooftop garden area with some astroturf, so we can have kind of a different kind of feeling. We can have a really nice barbecue open, playful area on the roof, and we can have a really nicely decorated interior right here, which also has all of our crafting stuff. We're going to be building it out of brick because I really like the flat wall interior of the brick. If you go with the wood, for example, it's really hard to put objects on the walls that look neat. So if you go with the brick ones, you can get a nice flat surface. We're going to have a really cool garage door to get in here just because I like the fact that it's got the electric door on there. There are some powered doors, but I haven't unlocked them yet. We're also going to have a separate hallway leading to our stairs to go to the roof. So if you just want to go to the roof, you don't have to go all the way through the living room, traipsing your dirty boots everywhere. And here we are with the apartment kind of roughly built. It looks really cool, I think. We've got a lot of space in the interior to play with, and we've also got a lot of space on the roof to play with as well. As I said, getting the flooring to work on the inside was very difficult, but I'm very happy we got it to work, and we've got a huge amount of space on the upper area with the lip just going slightly over the cliff so you can look down and see an impending drop beneath you. But one thing I also really liked about the interior is that we use different floor patterns to indicate different parts of the room. Because since it's a studio apartment, I don't want to have walls in there necessarily, so we use different floor pieces in order to give the impression that we have different rooms inside a studio environment. It also gives us an amazing view of Appalachia. We can actually see the nukes dropping down on the White Springs and the Top of the World Resort over there. No idea why somebody nukes for the Top of the World Resort. Maybe there's some special resources there I'm not too sure about. But this is a really cool place because it gives you amazing views of Appalachia, and it also gives you the extra resources, which you can see me placing down here. These extractors have been nerfed actually quite recently, to where you not only get less material, but you also have to use acid in order to make it a useful building item. Not really the end of the world though, acid is everywhere. And now we are going to have our only room inside this studio apartment. We are going to have a little toilet and bathroom area, but the rest of the apartment is going to have different floors to indicate different areas. And also, I have learnt my lesson. Put the rugs down first. If you put the rugs down first, you'll have a much easier time. Because if you want to put rugs down afterwards, after you put down regular furniture, you got to move all the furniture out, you know, like in real life. Here we've got some of the really cool white lights from the Atomic Shop. These are kind of really cool string lights which you can get, and they look glorious. We're going to have all of our conduits on the outside of the building, so we have no wires on the inside, and it looks really nice on the inside once you put up all the lights. We've got some of the ceiling fan lights, and we've also got the white lights from the Atom Shop as well, and it looks great. Moving on to our little bathroom area, we're going to have one of the portable toilets in here. I like this one because you can actually sit down on this one as opposed to the broken one, which is just for decoration. And we're going to have a little bath in there as well, along with lots of wall decorations. Once again, we're going to be using our final render patented curtain method to go and put up a flag to act like a curtain so nobody can see you urinating or defecating through the front window, which we definitely don't want, of course. And I have just lots of little decorations in there to make the place look like a bathroom, like mirrors and stuff like that. And now for the kitchen and dining area. I went ahead and used one of the kitchen stoves. I've actually finally got one now in accordance with the little chemistry station here. That was actually a suggestion from someone watching the live stream to use the chemistry station because it has a sink. And I actually didn't have any sinks, but the chemistry station does have a sink, and it's also a really nice way to get everything integrated in. And here we are building our little dining table right here. Something which we did quite clever with the dining table is that we actually had everything on one piece of carpet. So therefore, if you want to move it about, you can just grab the rug and move it. Makes things much easier. And we also had floor mats to act kind of like table mats right there to protect the table from any kind of stains and everything like that. And with the actual kitchen area done, looks pretty good. We've got lots of space, we've got lots of cool decorations with the posters, we've got some garden gnomes on the table because it is one of our builds after all, and it does look like a really nice little area. And the bathroom area itself also looks really good, looks very cozy. It's got all the essentials you need in order to give yourself a proper bath, except running water, of course. That isn't a thing in this game. Yep, maybe in DLC, who knows. And now we need the tiny little lounge living room area. This is going to be quite small actually, seeing as it is a studio apartment. You don't really need to have lots of stuff for the living room because technically everything is your living room. So we're just going to have a little television set with some posters, some magazine racks, and some nice couches in there as well. And now for the bedroom area, I wanted to be a bit different to what I normally do. I wanted to make something that was very symmetrical. Normally I deliberately make things look a bit messy, but seeing as the bedroom area is right in the centre of the room, I decided to have it be quite symmetrical and have the same items next to the bed in order to kind of make a nice pattern, a nice divide down the middle of the studio. It makes the place actually feel more open by having this clear divide as to where the left and right of the apartment is. And of course we need to have this really nice Appalachian stash box in there, definitely my favourite one, that is the carved wooden one from the Atomic Shop. And right next to the beds, of course, we're also going to have our crafting area. It's kind of separated with a big bearskin rug in there to kind of give it a little bit of separation. You don't want to have oil and stuff all over your bed, do you? Well, some might, but whatever. And now going on to some of the smaller crimscrams, we're going to have lots of posters around. We're going to have lots of flags around in order to make the walls look a bit less bare. Because whilst I want the flat white walls, I wanted them because it means I can put up more posters easily. So once you put up all the posters, you get something that looks like this. I love this studio apartment, people. This studio apartment feels like it's got 6 or 7 different rooms in it because it's divided up so well. But in reality, of course, it's only one room. And the fact that we have got the slightly elevated floor at the back really makes the place feel enormous, even though in reality, it's actually quite a small little area. It's probably only about 4 squares wide, but it actually feels much bigger than that. Maybe 6 squares wide, I should say. But we've got lots of decorations in there, lots of stuff which has functionality as well, like the television. We've also got all the crafting tables. We've got all the lights which can be turned on and off by the player at will. And it just feels like a really nice practical player home, as well as something which feels very nice and well designed. It does feel like somewhere I would probably quite like to live, in a post-apocalyptic place. But to tell you the truth, I think this is one of those kind of builds where you might not necessarily want to change it too much after this. So some people want to have a base which they can change anytime they want to. Some people want to make a permanent home. This is definitely one of those permanent home kind of builds, I feel. But seeing as we've done such a good job with it, I feel as if that's not too bad a thing. And something which I really like about the interior of this place as well is that it relies on decorations, not so much the building itself. Too many people put too much emphasis on building a giant structure, but having empty rooms because they've used up all their camp budget. But not here, not Final Render, we put all of our emphasis on decoration. And now turning to our upstairs garden area. This is a really cool thing, I think, because it's really nice to have that separation from the ground and just have this nice flat area up here with the AstroTurf. Even though in reality you probably wouldn't do this, you would probably just have all of your garden stuff, you know, in an actual garden, but here it works out quite well, I feel. We're going to use up one of these atom canopies right here from the Atomic Shop and put some of the lights on there. We did that for the restaurant build we did, and that worked out really well, along with a pool table and some couches. The kind of idea was to make something that looked almost kind of like a pub garden. Even though we're not actually selling drinks, this isn't a business, this is a home, I wanted to make something that looked like a pub garden. So we got some of the pub garden games, we got lots of places to sit down and admire the view of Appalachia, which we've got right here. And here we are with the upstairs garden area kind of done. We've got fun, we've got games, and we've got open space right here for everyone to enjoy. Something which I really like about it is that we've got quite a lot of open space, as well as lots of places to sit down as well. You can probably get a lot of people up here. And we've got some cool little things to make it look a little bit different, like we've got the basketball hoops. But if you missed your basketball throw, of course, your ball would go miles down the hill. So you better make sure you pay attention and make sure you actually throw that basketball properly. But something else I really like about it is that, again, similar to the interior, it feels like we have got separate rooms up here. We've got the pool table area, we've got a cooking area in the middle, and we've got a game section towards the far right. And it feels like a genuine, nice area to go and chill out after a day of raiding or something like that. And here we go with the Cliffside studio apartment fully done. Guys, I've got to say, this is one of the nicest homes we have built in Fallout 76. We've built lots of different stuff in Fallout 76, like we've built businesses, we've built homes, we've built factories, etc. But this is one of the nicest homes I think we have ever built. It feels like something where you would be really proud to get all of your friends together and just sit in front of the fire and talk to each other on voice chat as if you were actually next to each other, even though you're actually in the video game. So thank you very much for watching this video, people. This has been the very first video of 2019. As I said, subscribe to the channel if you want to see all the cool stuff which I'm going to be bringing on Rage 2 on January 24th. It's going to be really cool to finally talk about that game now I've actually played it. And make sure you subscribe to the channel to see more Fallout 76 builds, and check out all the cool Patreon people in the description below who help support the channel with their financial donations. Until next time, I've been the Final Render, and you've been the audience.